she is.
Hello. Oh, it's a change of scenery.
Yes, I am. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, I am very tired. So if I stop making sense, just say goodbye, Cindy. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I apologize for being late.
No problem. Okay, so we're all here and it's the end of week 6. We're halfway through.
Halfway through.
Yes. And so who would like to start off with the check-in?
I'm happy to start.
Okay.
You might go to sleep. Why don't you start?
Exactly. And I apologize because I'm bouncing this computer around trying to get a good angle. And okay, I think this is okay. This week was just insane. It was good insane. I had a blast with my tutor on Tuesday. We ripped apart tulips and took lots of pictures, and I'm putting together, this afternoon it kindly coalesced as a composition that I'm doing. I'm also getting pretty much finished my last piece. So I'm going to start doing the new one tomorrow. And I had just an absolutely awesome week. I felt fantastic all week. Did have that little creepy voice come in a bit, not too much. This is like 3 weeks now that I've been feeling like this. It's awesome. You know, the old everything's going to work out kind of thing. And then it's like, well, what if you're wrong? You know, that voice came up. And you're putting everything right into that. What if you're wrong? What if it doesn't work out? And it's like, oh, go away. And yeah, it was pretty much my week. I absolutely fell down on my daily notes, which is not a surprise. I did a couple of the videos, but I need to catch up on that. I actually kind of had 2 artist days because one day I just took a long hot bubble bath that I've been wanting to take for like 6 months now, and just took my time and didn't worry about any business or anything like that. And that was wonderful. Of course, the day with my tutor is always great too. She's usually here about an hour and a half. But then today, um, we live in a really small town, and so we drive about 25 miles to go any place shopping. And so just taking my husband to get some new clothes that he needed badly. And I decided that I needed some new house plants, and then I needed some new pots for my new house plants. And I kind of went a little crazy, but it felt so good. It was so much fun. And it was like my artist day because Mike just stayed in the car, and I just took my time. I called them, said, I'm sorry, this took so long. I got stuck in the seeds. They grabbed me and they wouldn't let go of me because I got a bunch of seeds to start, even though I really don't like doing that very much. This time of year, you got to do something in the garden. So that was my week. It was pretty awesome.
Okay, cool. Thank
All
you.
right.
Okay, Sandy,
Well,
you want to take it?
I had a good week. It was a fast week. I don't know. It just seemed like the week flew. And my artist date was playing with flowers because it was Valentine's Day. I got flowers, I sent flowers, I made flowers for people. I just had a wonderful time playing with flowers and arranging them and doing all kinds of stuff with color in the house to match the flowers. I just went, you know, all the way down the rabbit hole with them. It was wonderful. And I got the information on the doodling class that I'm going to start taking. So I started doing all the prep work for that, and that was fun. I mean, it's not my favorite part of a class is doing that stuff where you have to measure and cut and do things, you know, the way the person wants it to be done. And at one point I thought, because I don't know if I have an eye thing going on or not, but even with a ruler, I have trouble drawing a straight line. It's always slanting or something. So there was lots of little grids that I had to do, which is kind of tedious for me. And at one point I was thinking, this is why I do abstracts. I don't like this boxing in type stuff, but it's all good. It'll end up being, well, I'm going to doodle in things like that into different colors. You know, it's working with a lot of designs and shapes and.
Can I see that again?
Sure.
I'm sorry. I was trying to adjust myself here.
Could
Oh,
you
how
see it?
fun.
Oh
So
yeah.
hold
it's gonna
that
be
up a minute. I'm gonna blow it up to full screen for me.
Oh, okay. Because I've got a little shadow on it too.
I got to put on my glasses to read the screen so I know what to do with the screen. Okay. There we
Oh,
go.
there you go. Oh yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I made all of these little doohickeys, and some of them are her designs too. But that's okay, you know, because how many things can you do with a line and a circle and all of that? Yeah, it stresses. It doesn't stress me, but it keeps me doing things very meticulous, which is, you know, it's a skill.
Mhm.
Like I say, I paint anyway. So I did that, and I did I listened to the videos. Let's see, I didn't walk like I'd mentioned earlier, and that was kind of sad. So I didn't really collect 5 leaves or 5 things or whatever, but I've written my affirmations and I've written in the journal every morning. And I was already in such a habit of doing that anyway, of writing of a morning, that to me, it's not that much of a jump to do it. Some days I can't do 3 pages, but it's like I do 2 3/4 page, you know, so there's some blank spot there and I should just doodle in there, huh?
Yep.
To fill it up. So let's see, I guess that's my check-in. It was a good week. It was a busy week. I had a social week as well because I have many friends and family back in Arkansas and some in Texas. And so being a good friend, I did check in on them, and it turned into longer phone calls than I wanted. But you know, you can't put a price on that. You can't put a time limit on that. You know, we're all in our 70s, and it's like, I'm so glad to talk to them. I'm glad they're still there, and they're all doing okay. So there's that. That's what I did.
David, do you want to check in?
So to give you insight into the depth and innateness of my depravity, when Cindy was talking, it reminded me of a joke that I learned in 5th grade that just made me bust out loud laughing. I just thought it was so funny. So, Mom, did you take a bath? Son, why? Is there one missing?
That's my kind of humor, actually.
Yes. My week has been crazy busy. I've been doing a bunch of website development for a training festival that's coming up. And I don't like doing this all the time, but it's really fun to dive into it from time to time. So there's creativity involved, precision involved, staring at the computer screen involved, getting up from staring at the computer screen and walking so my body doesn't get too stiff involved, you know. But it's consumed a lot of my week because writing code is really it really is time consuming.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that was my week.
Okay.
You know what? I can show you what I did. I'll show you. I think it's on this computer. Hold on a minute while I get the screen.
Let's see, I did another sheet that I tried to do some code on too. I did a second sheet.
My browser is doing an update. There we go. Hmm.
I started on my taxes this week too.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, yeah. David inspired me last week. He had, or the week before, whenever he had started his taxes, and I was like, yeah, it's time.
Yeah, I
Mine
can
are-
relate to that.
Yep.
Oh, it's not, I can't find it. I mean, it's not, the link is not on the computer, and it's a long old, messy link designed to make it searchable by Google. So never mind.
Mm.
Too much work.
Okay. Well, last week, you guys asked David if he could do a guided meditation.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was supposed to find that, and I thought about it when I couldn't do it, and I forgot to do it when I could. That makes sense.
Yes.
I so
Yes.
apologize. I
Right.
did intend to do that, and I apologize for not following through.
Well, David might actually have enough brain cells to be able to do it without that. What do you think, David?
Are you people done talking? Have we talked enough? Do you want to drop into a meditation?
Yvonne, do you
Will
want
we
to check in yet?
Me?
Or did, yeah.
Yeah, I
you.
didn't think you checked in, but then I felt insecure, like maybe you had, and I wasn't paying attention, and I didn't want to reveal my inattentiveness, so I kept my mouth shut. So I'm glad that someone else had the courage to speak up. Thank you, Cindy.
Right. Well, I didn't really want to check in because I had a pretty severe bout of depression this past week.
Oh no.
Yeah, everything just hit me all at once. And it was just a combination of things. And so I didn't really want to share that. But at the same time, I do think it's good to talk about the dark side.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's natural, and especially for creative people. Creative people tend to be more sensitive,
Mhm.
and I think it is actually good to admit that. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever struggled with that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So,
Absolutely.
so that was pretty hard. And it was a combination of things. It was partly the end of the trial was pretty hard for me and a lot of people. And I just couldn't, like, I was dealing with my own stuff. I couldn't be the strong, supportive, empathetic listener. I was just like, I just need some time to myself. And then also the weather. I mean, today was the first day since I last talked to you guys that we even had a day with blue sky and sunshine. And so I'm getting massive cabin fever, and that causes me depression too, because I usually get depression in the winter, usually toward the end. It's so ironic, like right when we're getting toward you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, that's when I always get my worst seasonal depression. And so that hit really hard. And also because there's another kind of depression I call the baby blues, which is when you dedicated your life to something for a long period of time, pretty intensely, and it's coming to an end. It leaves you kind of unmoored, like, oh, what am I supposed to do with my life now? This is what I've dedicated myself to, and I thought a lot about it today, about the possibility of making a video today about Trump, because of the fact that I did say that the 17th was going to be an important date, And it did actually turn out to be important for two reasons that I found. There are other things going on too, like the fact that the United States reported 500,000 COVID deaths on the 17th. But also regarding Trump, the guy who's the head of the Homeland Committee filed charges against Trump for the insurrection. So we'll see how that goes. And then Trump has been really digging in to this fight with McConnell. And I thought, yeah, I could mention that because it definitely relates to the astrological alignments, you know. And I did get a laugh though out of what Trump said. He was saying how McConnell was a terrible leader for the Republican Party because he's weak and we'll never win if we're weak. We need to be strong. And that's why McConnell is minority leader now. I'm just like, dude, you lost. He didn't. It's like anybody who can't see that is completely blind. And I just started laughing. But anyway, so there was those things, and also being single on Valentine's Day. Sometimes I don't mind being single, but sometimes on holidays it does hit me a little bit harder. So it was just all those things all at once, and I just like couldn't get. There were a couple of days I literally just couldn't get out of bed. So thankfully I have my dear friend David to call and talk to on the phone, and he's always a good listening ear. So thank you, David, for that. And so you know, I could fake it, and that's pretty good that I could fake it if I needed to.
But you don't need to with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good though, because you know, for me, like I have different levels of depression, and there's the level where it's like, oh, I just feel melancholy, and then there's the level where okay, I can at least fake it in public, you know, and then there's the level where I can't even fake it. And so I'm glad I didn't go so far that I couldn't even fake it. But anyway, I think it'll be better this coming week because I looked at the weather, and we're supposed to have sunshine for a week. So getting out and being able to hike and get fresh air and sunshine, that'll help a lot.
I hear you on that one.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my check-in. So David, do you want to do the guided meditation?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you guys ready to get comfy?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I'm already in
Nice
bed. So I
talking to
can
you,
just fall
Cindy.
asleep.
All right. Well, if you just fall asleep, we will respect you. We will respect
And-
your need for rest.
Yvonne, have you ever tried a light lamp?
Well, what I usually will do is take a couple of supplements, SAM E and vitamin D, and those help. But I can't take them every single day because then I get insomnia. Because my mood gets so elevated that I can't even sleep. I'm just wired, you know. So it's just kind of like trying to find the right balance. But exercise for me is the absolute best because then I get the natural light and the fresh air and, you know, getting the oxygen in my lungs, moving my body. So when I can't get that, then I'm usually after a few days going to be in bad shape.
Yep.
But thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, because the plant lights that I buy really inexpensive at Amazon, and right there you got full spectrum. So just a thought.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready? Okay. This is not a quickie.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get comfortabler then. All right.
Whoops.
Okay. So I invite you to close your eyes.
I'm turning me off.
All right.
Nice
And
talking to you.
close your eyes and just become aware that you dwell in a body. And into that body, breath is drawn. Breath is invited in. Your body expands and the breath is invited in. And then your body contracts and the breath is shared back out. We've all shared the same oxygen molecules. We probably have breathed in the same oxygen molecules that Buddha breathed in or Christ breathed in. You know, and they just keep us alive somehow. There's something in every breath that keeps us alive. So as you're focused on your breath and you just breathe in and out, bringing your attention to your senses, the temperature of the air, the position of your body. Maybe there's some part of your body that wants to shift or move to be more comfortable or just wants a little bit of attention. And as you breathe, imagine a bright sunny day where the colors are vivid and the shapes just call out. They call your eye because they are so diverse, so intricate, so interesting. And the sounds of the animals are intriguing. As you walk along a meadow, you can feel the uneven earth under your feet, the crunch as it steps on, your feet steps on grass or moves gravel. And you notice a little cleft, a little opening in the earth. And you follow that and your path begins to move down. And as you're walking down the sides of the ground that stayed at the same level where the meadow is, pretty soon they're up to your hips. And you keep walking and they're shoulder height. And still the path goes down until the sides are way above your head, as if you're moving deep into the earth. And it gets dark even though the sun is shining overhead. And then you notice a bright spot at the end of the ravine that you're now in, the very narrow ravine. And as you walk out into a beautiful forest, and you just walked out from a crack in a tall, tall cliff. And now you're back out in the sunshine again. You can hear the wind blowing through the treetops, the birds singing. You can feel the breeze against your skin as you walk along the path. And still the path winds down. And pretty soon, you hear the sound of running water, of a stream. And the air takes on a moist tang, so you have the warmth of the sun beating down on you, and the intricate shapes caused by the shadow as the sun filters through the trees. And then the moisture in the air that caresses your skin, and the sounds of the stream that bathes your ears as they grow louder and louder until you come to a bank. And there's a ford in the stream. And on the other side of the stream is an old, old woman with bright, bright eyes and a huge smile on her face. And she holds out her arms in welcome. You take off your shoes and you wade into the stream, and you can feel the cool water rushing against your feet. And some spots in the stream, it's all sandy, and your feet just sink into the sand. And other spots, there's slippery rocks, and you have to pay attention to your balance. And all the while, the water is rushing by, and it just invigorates your feet. It invigorates your whole body, the freshness of the water, as you come up to the other side. And the old woman embraces you. And you see that the trail moves up, that it's a steep climb. And maybe there's a part of you that just wants to rest. And so you're invited over. There's a big tree with a hollow in it right next to the stream. Its branches draping over the stream, some moss on it. But on the side away from the stream, there's dry leaves, and it's warm and comfortable. And the part of you that wants to rest just lies in the hollow of the tree. And the old woman sits next to you and starts to hum. And the part of you that wants to rest drifts off into sleep. And maybe there's a part of you that craves adventure, and it wants to know what's on the path. So it begins to walk up the path. And the path is more dirt now. Sometimes there's rocks to climb over, and you're climbing up and up. And as you're climbing up, you notice that it's getting dark out, that the air is thickening with dust, with dusk. And you can't quite see as far ahead. And yet the evening is warm. And the path is clear. Your feet, your bare feet, just know where to step. And the stars start to come out. And now you're in the forest under starlight. And then there up ahead, you see an orange glow, an orange flickering between the tree trunks. And you walk up, climbing up, and the path takes a turn. And as you turn around and you come into a meadow, and in the middle of the meadow, there's a bonfire, the flickering light that you saw through the trees. And on the other side of the fire, there's an old man sitting on a log. And he too is smiling and holds out his arms in welcome, and his eyes glitter in the light of the fire. And you go over and you sit next to him. And he takes out a box from next to the log. And he hands you the box. And you feel the warmth of the fire. And you hear the crackling of the wood. And there's still the sound of the gentle breeze in the trees. And the old man looking at you with the bright eyes. And the radiant, the joyful smile. As you open the box, and in it there's a gift just for you. Unique to who you are. Freely given in love. And then the old man directs your gaze to the fire. And you feel the warmth from the fire, and you watch the flames flickering and dancing. And you just become absorbed in the dance of light and heat, and the sparks, the embers that fly up high above the trees. And then one particular ember really catches your light. And as you see the ember floating up, going up, you feel a tug in your belly. And the next thing you know, you are soaring. You are soaring, following the ember, flying up above the trees, heading towards the heavens, and there are the stars in all their glory as you get past the atmosphere. And you see the dance of the stars. You feel the stars dancing in your very being, realizing that you too are made of stardust. The atoms in your body are the same atoms in stars. And you feel the rhythm of the stars in the depths of your being as you dance, dance, dance. And then you feel a warmth. And you look and there's a star that's very nearby, a radiant, bright, bright light. And that star is the sun. It's the warmth that we have an intimate relationship with. And you feel that warmth. And all of a sudden you're riding on a sunbeam. And that warmth beats down onto the earth. That energy, that light. And it soaks into the leaves of a plant. Photosynthesis. And you become the plant, the life of the plant. And you realize that warmth, that dance of the stars is the foundation of all life. And you are participating in that life as you feel yourself grow up, upward, upward, reaching back for the sky, now as a plant. And then the call of the stars, the dancing of the stars, and you feel yourself swooping up again, returning back to the sun, returning back to the stars, dancing with the cosmos, a cosmic being, a timeless being, not influenced by gravity, weightless, boundless energy, life. And then you take a breath. And as you take a breath, you realize that you have a body, that you have a physical existence, a time-bound experience. And you feel that tug, and that gravity starts to pull you back towards the earth, and you look down. And there's the earth, and it's dark. And there's a little bright spot of orange light, and you move down towards that orange light, and pretty soon you see trees in a forest, in a dark, starlit forest, and there's a bonfire, and you see the old man. And sitting next to the old man, you see a woman, and you realize it's you as you drop down like a spark, like an ember that's falling to the earth, pulled by gravity, into the fire, and you feel the warmth of that fire, and that same warmth is the warmth that originally came from the sun that was stored in the wood and now is being released to warm your body, and you feel, and you are the warmth, and you move out, and with that warmth you caress your own body. You envelop, you hold your own body in warmth and love. And then suddenly you're looking at the fire, sitting on the log next to the old man. And he's smiling so widely, it's amazing that his face doesn't crack. And his eyes are so alive, like two burning little sparks. And there in your lap is the gift that he gave you. And you look at the old man, and he looks at you. Life, recognizing life, life reaching out for life, life calling for life. The warmth, the companionship, of accompaniment. The joy, life's joy in life is resonating through your being. You look back at the fire and you see that it's dwindled, and now there's coals, a little dance of orange and red, and a little bit of amber with areas of darkness, and patterns come into being and then dissolve, and areas begin to glow and then get dark as another area begins to glow, and the patterns endlessly shift, endlessly shifting patterns residing in the play of energy, residing in your being. And you realize it's getting light out. And the old man stands up, and you stand up. And he gives you a big warm hug and blesses you and lets you know that he's always there, that you're always welcome. And you take your gift and you walk back out of the meadow. And now you're walking downhill. Gravity is helping you, so you have to be measured in your steps so you don't go too fast, so you don't strain your knees. You have to be conscious of where you're putting your weight as you walk down the path. The sky is getting lighter, the morning birds are singing, there's that early morning chill in the air. But you're so invigorated that chill is a dose of enthusiasm in your body. It's a reminder that you're alive as you come down the path. And there's the stream, and just as you see the stream, the sun comes above the horizon and the light starts to shine through the forest leaves, and it hits the surface of the water, and like a gazillion little gems, little sparkles now, just like the coals were dancing in the nighttime, the sunlight is dancing on the water in an ever-changing pattern that is continually new, spontaneous, and filled with delight. And there's the old woman sitting by the tree. And you see, lying next to her sleeping, the part of you that needed rest and rejuvenation, watched over and cared for through the whole night. And the old woman gently rouses that part of yourself. And she gets up, rested, and walks back over to you, and the two of you merge. So you get the vitality of rest and the excitement and adventure and the joy in living as you walk back across the stream and feeling the water again against your feet, and the slippery spots where there's rocks where you have to be careful, and the sandy spots where your feet kind of soak into the earth, and the invigorating feel of the water. And you notice when you reach the other side that the old woman walked across the path with you. And she gives you a blessing, a big hug, a peck on each cheek. And there's so much joy in her face that there are tears spilling down her eyes. She takes so much joy in your presence. And she reminds you that she too will always be there. And you are always welcome. And she always has for you a place of rest, of forgetfulness and sleep under her care. And now you turn back to the path and you begin walking up. Deep breaths. The sounds of the trees waving in the forest, the birds singing, the crunch of the earth under your feet. The strain in your muscles as you walk upward. And pretty soon you feel more heat. The day is wearing on, it's getting warmer, and the moisture from the air is dissipating because you're moving away from the water to the point where you can no longer hear it. And it's just you and the forest, the sunlight, the wind, the animals, the undergrowth, the path, and your breath as you see the cliff ahead. And you walk across the meadow, and there is the crevice. And you walk into the crevice, and now you're in the dampness, the earthy dampness, the darkness. When the sun's still bright overhead, but down deep in the earth, you're dark. And you begin to climb up and up. And pretty soon, the top of the cliff, of the crevice, becomes clear. And the next thing you know, your head emerges at the level of the meadow where you started. And you keep walking up, and the ground drops to where it's below your shoulders, below your hips. And you emerge from the crack in the earth in a meadow. And there are gazillions of buzzing insects, bees and butterflies, a cacophony of brilliant color as all kinds of wildflowers are growing there in the sunlight with purples and pinks, blues and indigos, and greens and oranges and reds. And you continue to walk across the meadow. Continuing to breathe, noticing that you live in a body that exists, it's real. You can feel the furniture supporting you. You can feel the tug of gravity holding you to the earth, the texture of your clothes against your skin. And as you continue to breathe, as you continue to relax, you get ready, you know you're about to open your eyes and come back to the Zoom call. Getting ready, maybe your body wants to stretch a little bit, getting ready to come back, getting ready to open your eyes. And take 3 deep, savory, luscious breaths. And then when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to the call. Wow, you're still awake, Cindy.
I am. That was great. Thank you.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome. It's probably not like the one I did on the Artist Way call, but I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the one you did on the Zoom call had more to do with money. Is that right?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking these two guys because they were watching it.
Yeah, well, you didn't do it on the Zoom call. You just talked about it. And that was
Oh.
the one where Yvonne was concerned about having some cash flow.
Right.
And then she had a whole bunch of financial things happen the next couple of days afterwards.
Yeah, that was true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the question I have, and what made me think of doing this particular guided imagery, is where do we get the energy to create? We become inspired and something just flows through us and out of us into manifestation, whether it's drawing or arts or dance or words on a page. And there's energy there. Where does that energy come from? Because we can't fake it. We can't just with our mind make it so. And so that's the question to ponder for us artistic folk.
So I liked the thing about getting a gift. And I was curious if you guys like had an experience, if you want to share.
Yeah,
if you want to, feel free.
We can feed back just a check-in about how it landed with people or what your experience was like.
Well, I felt like I went on my walk that I'd been missing. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And no, it was lovely. I really enjoyed it. And I did get, the gift was very interesting. It was a grand piano shaped music box, and very ornate on the top, and silver filigree type stuff. And then when I opened it up, it played a song that kept running through my head while you were talking, because I can't place where it's from. I think it's like a theme song from some movie or something. So I will try to figure out where it's from, and I'll spare you humming it. So yeah. So anyway, that was my experience.
Okay, cool.
I think I might have fallen asleep for a minute because I remember you talking about the gift, but I don't remember what it was.
It's all right.
I'll look forward to doing this again on the replay.
Cool.
I'll play it later again tomorrow or whatever. Yep.
Okay.
What was yours, Yvonne? Did you have a gift?
Yeah, I have a writer friend, and we're going to do a trade. And so I had a couple of ideas I wanted to share with her, but then I also thought of a couple more ideas. She wants me to read her book-length manuscript, and so we'll do a trade. And so I might trade my manuscript with her, or have her, or something else. And so one idea I got that I thought I would share with her is because I have been watching on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have ever subscribed to YouTube Originals, but I just ran across it recently, and there was a show called Origin. It was a science fiction show. And
Yeah.
have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. I've never watched it. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, one of those days I was depressed. I binge watched 11 episodes.
Good for you. Good for you.
So yeah, it was really good. And then since you could get the first 2 episodes for free, but it was so addictive, I had to sign up to get more. But you could get 30 days free trial. So I watched.
What channel is it on?
Well, if you were to do a search in YouTube for Origin,
Okay.
look for season 1, episode 1, because the first 2, they only have 1 season so far, but the first 2 are free. And then if you like it, you can sign up for YouTube Originals and get the first month free. So anyway, since I watched all of that, now I'm watching another one of their programs. It's also more soft, like a more. This one was it was a like spaceship, alien on a spaceship kind of sci-fi.
Mhm.
This one's more like strange, unusual powers, like Heroes. If you ever got,
Mhm.
if you ever
I
read
love
it.
those.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
too.
It reminds me more of Heroes.
That's a great show.
Yeah, and so anyway, so I started watching that. It's pretty good too. And I was going to suggest with my writer friend slash partner that we might try a joint project, which we've never done. We always work on our own projects. So I was going to suggest her a joint project. I thought that might be fun. So that was the gift I got, was these ideas that I hadn't had before, that I felt like, ooh, that sounds fun. I think I'll suggest it to her. And even if she doesn't say yes, I'm always glad when my mind grabs something that's completely off the shelf. Like, wow, where'd that come from? So that was the gift that I received. So
Is
that
your
was
off
fun.
the shelf ever off the wall?
What?
Is your off the shelf ever off the wall?
All the time. Yvonne, have you ever listened to, they call it ASMR music, and it's a YouTube thing. Have you watched any of those?
I've heard of ASMR. Why are you suggesting that?
Well, because sometimes when I'm feeling kind of down, I will put music on like that. And it's a repetitive sound, and it's supposed to relax you and do all these wonderful things. But because I'm very visual also, I love some of the visuals that they have with it. And it's really, really relaxing. And I listen to those a lot.
Yeah.
And if the weather's bad, they have some that are beautiful, just really beautiful nature scenes. And my favorite ones I've found lately have been magical fairy gardens. And I just get lost in them. They're so relaxing. And the cats, my cats both just kind of like fall out. They're like this when I put them on. So, yeah. So I was wanting to share that with you and all of you. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try to remember that, because that magical fairy garden sounds really, really
It's
fun.
my favorite right now. It's so good. It's so good.
Okay.
They have one that's night, and then they have another one that's day, and it's the same scene. And then I thought of it probably because in your description, David, of where we were going, my visual of that started to look like magical fairy garden. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was nice. Oh my gosh, it's 7:00.
How about that?
Good job.
Anything else you guys want to share, or questions you have, or check out before we go?
I can't think of anything. I'm going downhill fast.
Okay.
All right.
Enjoy it.
Okay.
Thank you both.
All
Thank
right.
you, all three of you.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys.
I'll send more videos tomorrow.
All
Okay.
right. Nighty night.
Bye.
Good night. Take care, Yvonne.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.